But the bottom line is XYZ Eurodollar Bank in the Cayman Islands can create dollars without having dollars. They don't
just issue credit.
That's right. They just create dollar-denominated loans that equal dollar-denominated commercial bank liabilities. So if they can do it, I don't know why. If the system was similar, why the Argentinian central bank couldn't do that to pay down dollar-denominated debt instead of having to print pesos to buy the dollars to pay down the debt.
Huh. You got me.
Well, I don't want to throw you a curveball. Let's go. We can talk about this more offline. But getting back to the kind of the dilemma there with higher oil prices, it is true that it's an input for everything. But if the money supply is not increasing, and if it's actually decreasing, that's another thing, Chris. We see M1 and M2 decreasing. I don't know if M2 is still decreasing. I'd have to look at a chart. But that's the first time that M2 has decreased in the United States since the Great Depression. So, you got the money supply falling off a cliff, and unless you've got velocity, if you get velocity increasing fast enough, you can definitely still have consumer price inflation with the money supply falling. Yeah. But if you've got velocity falling and money supply falling, at a certain point, the rubber's got to meet the road.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, and you know that I'm extremely bullish on commodities, because I think that what will happen at the end of the day is if we do have a deflationary force, which I think is the underlying current of the economy at large, the central banks or the really not really monetary, but fiscal is going to come in and do what they did in 2020 and 2021. At the very least, anti-deflationary.
Yeah, no, look, you're bang on right. I mean, it's every scenario that you have, especially if you're invested into it, you should dedicate a certain amount of time to challenging that opinion. Like when you're right, you just make money. When I'm right, we just make money. That's not the threat. The threat is when you're wrong and you don't identify it early enough and get in there fast enough to address it. That's when problems come about. So it's always a useful exercise to throw rocks at everything that you do. And I realize also it's an unpopular way of going about doing things, but it's absolutely the best way to go about doing it.